God, that was so frustrating. Fuck. I don't even remember where we were at. Mr. Shamspear has categorically denied suicide. Well, let me get my thing. Maybe I gotta refamiliarize myself with this. It must be discounted. He could be lying. Back at the Clouded Kokoro, I believe. Is something wrong, Lord Van Zeeks? I was listening to the sound of the carriage pulling up outside the courtroom. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Carriage? What carriage? It seems the key player in this case has just arrived. Hold it, with no words. Oh, out, brief candle, life's but a walking shadow. Oh, I know where we are. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Who, sir, are you? William Shakespeare, my lord. The last was I, undone by these bitter events. I am the victim. What? What's he doing here? The prosecution seeks to call this gentleman to the stand. His testimony, my learned friend's futile resistance will be utterly crushed. Calling him the witness. Very well, counsel. I grant your request with interest. Curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself. Bitches and hoes from all around the world. But I still have my own tale to tell, my own tale of worse woe. I can regale the court with the tale of my perfect innocence in perfect English. That will do, Mr. Natsume. Let the court now hear from the victim. Ah! Alright, so that's Mr. Shamspear. What's that other man beside him? The man who looks like Popeye, but worse. Yes, I feel sure that we've caught a glimpse of this man before. State your name and occupation for the court, please, witness. A writer of words so sweet they do scent the breeze, an inventor of ideas so profound they compose the earth. Unrivaled poet, the unmatched scribe William Shakespeare. For the great bard to be recalled of life anew, lo, what a magnificent man. Good fellows, I am here. He ponders such a miracle, William Shakespeare. Oh, the name's Meterman. Adrian B. Meterman. I work for the Altamont Gas Company. East End branch office. Ah, I remember now. It was yesterday on Briar Road. Oh yes, she's right, it's him. The man with the chin. The chin man. The man who has a chin. Koi? What's that man doing over here? Looks like he's trying to see into Saseki-san's soul. I mean, logics. Something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Excuse me, could we have a word? I'm getting the fuck out of here. Woo! It just faded from existence. Did that fucking happen? No. It's a gas company employee? What does he have to do with this case? No, by Mr. William Shakespeare, are you the victim in this miserable affair, correct? Oh heaven, oh hell, oh heck, oh darn. Command me to remember. A sweet poison that didst cross me and cross mine innocent lips. I subpoenaed him for the trial. Doctor's permission, naturally. Hearing the testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt in the jurors' minds, I'm sure. Behold, you only have to rearrange the letters of my name to see that me is a seraph, an angel indeed. Thus I be of noble mind, sweet of nature, and verily, honest of heart, as heavenly angels be. What? Is it a less contrived meaning in your name? No, not at all. Sure seem to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid. Actually liking the seraph anagram idea, making the seraph anagram idea seriously? Thank you, witnesses, for your illuminating introductions. My lord, what's the man next to Mr. Shakespeare doing here? The gas man, I mean. What, me? Well now. Allow me to enlighten my learned friend. All, I presume, your earlier impertinence. He suggested that the victim had another visitor to his room on the night in question. And moreover, that the victim is a compulsive liar. What? No, I didn't quite say that. This young chin-fucker here is to confront your wild claims conclusively. Is that not so, Mr. Meterman? Hang on, no. I'm just here. I hereby call for your formal testimonies. Tell me in the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question. One may smile, and be a villain. Yes, sir, it doth pain me, but the truth bid be spoken. Truth of that wintry night of my discontent. I need to fuck. The snow lay about. My neighbor did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But merry, bitter was his drink. When he left, I did fall prostrate on my table. Was the tea alone did pass my lips that late hour, naught else? I was outside this bloke's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping my eye on his room. No one else visited his room but that short little roundy-backed Eastern fella. Keeping an eye on Mr. Shakespeare's room all night? That's right. Of course, the bloke's window is all but blocked, isn't it? There's a little gap in the bricks where you can see into the room. I spent the night trying to keep my teeth from chattering as I peered through that. Question is, sir, why? Well now, that's because he's on my list. What a piece of shit! What a piece of work is a man! Therefore, wouldst thou not stare in wonderment? What are you talking about? This buzzing busybody hath not part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed, make more ado about his tedious words. What'd you say about me? Calm yourself. This court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more. Indeed, that is so. And as the testimony we've just heard clearly reveals, no one other than the accused present at the time that would have carried out this crime. Well, I believe this may be the final testimony of the trial. Now, counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Be clear, by neighbor, you are referring to the defendant, Mr. Natsume. Oh, indeed, sire. Perchance that was, I call him, the man from upstairs. And at what time did the mustachio deputies visit you in your room? Our meeting was promised from the hour of 9, and oh, he did come to tender a gift of fragrant tea. Details of which you are in accordance with the defendant's own testimony, yes? And we are boiled in such literary debate as history hath not seen before. By which I presume he means a discussion about who was the stronger, Romeo or Juliet. Death battle episodes, yeah. I, Shamspeare, did play the part of a young Romeo, whilst my neighbor played the fair Juliet. Each of us dressed as our characters would be, to bring weight upon our merry experiment. I dare not imagine the scene. Frailty, thy name is woman. Canst thou imagine how dismayed I was? Yes, I've heard of the Eastern art of jujitsu, but ne'er did I dream it would be a skill practiced by a comely maiden. She did beat Romeo up. It's not helping our case. I believe the court has heard enough about your earth-shattering literary debate. Perhaps you could reiterate your statement about the tea that the accused brought up to your room? My liege, I am thy servant. Gladly I would do thy bidding. Let me stop you there. Mr. Natsume left your room at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't until after 2 that the poison made you collapse. That's more than 3 hours of missing time. Oh, I'm getting down with it. I'm getting down with it. I'm getting down with it. The defendant really put the poison in your tea. That 3 hours window of time is something you're gonna have to explain. Gladly! I'm getting down with it. 'Tis an easy task. Ooh, yeah, get it. Get it, boy, get it. What? I did drink the tea. Well, my guest did tarry, but after he took leave of me. Faith, 'twas stone cold. What? But at 1 hour post midnight, verily, were my lips parched. That doesn't sound normal. Nay, 'tis quite an ordinary swire, after all. Thou wouldst recall our fiery debate. Amidst such argument there'd be no time for fiery tea. And Juliet again. Who is stronger? Mr. Shamspeare, in summary, allow me to confirm. Did you not come here with the intention of naming your attacker? But of course, my liege, was the stooped lover of words that did attempt to shuffle me off this mortal coil. We all know what that means. So, you didn't have any kind of evening meal? Dinner? Supper? Fie on luxury, fie on gluttony. Eat thrice daily is but a waste of time. Sorry? I would that my belly were full, no more off than the sun doth rise. Well, most heroic eating habits, I must say. Night and day do I fill my hours with learned study of the great bard and playwright. Hence, it is the near doth not in my chamber be the costumes of mine art. That would appear to be the case, as even a rodent was found starved to death in your room. I think of it, not just food that was conspicuously missing from that room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single play or script anywhere. For I have devoured them all. You've eaten them? Every word be within my skull, did thou'st imagine otherwise. Eater of books, shitter of paper. Right, that wasn't misleading at all. Now, could you turn around, don't you think? Which brings us to the conclusion that only the way the person could have passed the victim's lip is in the tea. Oh, it's inside the bloke's window with the freeze. Oh, okay. Mata! You mata right now! Those of that house were all filled in. Historical artifact of the now-defunct window tax. Fun fact. Yeah, you're right there. All bricked. Why am I bricked up? Horribly. But as it happens, there's a little part of the brickwork at the bottom corner that's been opened up. I was looking in through that gap. Yes, there were a few bricks loose, weren't there? For some strange reason, a couple bars of soap lined up on the ledge outside as well. I don't like going around poking my chin in other people's business, especially on freezing cold nights. Them's my orders. That's what I'd keep doing, as long as there's breath in my body. That's all the theatricals today. Out of interest, Mr. Medeman, after all the accused had left and returned to his own lodgings, you see the victim leave the room at all? No, he never left. He was in that room the whole time, as far as I'm concerned. And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide. Can you be so sure of that? He's carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle for the poison. Since we know the victim didn't leave his room, and hence didn't dispose of the poison's container himself, it's clear that this was no attempted suicide. Only the culprit would have removed the receptacle. Ah, yes. Lucidly explained, counsel. Thank you. It really was. You can't argue with the logic. Say a short little round-back Eastern fella. Can't be sure it was the defendant then? How many other short little round-backed Japanese with the mustache fellas do you think there are in London? Oh, of course. It's only a narrow gap, and it was quite dark, so I didn't notice the mustache. Showed up around 9, I'm pretty sure of myself. And when the person you saw arrived, did he and Mr. Shakespeare drink tea together? Nah, sorry. I couldn't say. Why not? Because I couldn't see into that room all that well, could I? What I did see was the silhouette of that little round-back fella wearing a pretty dress. And then what the fuck? And then the pair of them started a wrestling match. I tell you, I didn't know what to make of it. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, sure. Wrestling match. Let's have a wrestling match. Oh, I can't believe it. We're gonna have sex. Yep, that's what. I suppose. How's the Romeo and Juliet championship battle getting underway? Mr. Meademan, allow me to confirm one final time. Apart from the accused, can you state with certainty that no one else visited the victim on the night in question? No question. Gaspin's honor. Hold it again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Reaction shots, reaction shots, reaction shots. My lord. Goodness me, Mr. Foreman. I've kept my mouth shut and listened up to now. This has gone on long enough. Are you withal with me? Yes! Are we to understand that you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are in agreement with one another? That you've reached a unanimous decision? To right we have. Are you all with me? Yes! Hey, no, the defense is in the middle of a cross-examination. No, I don't want to do the minigame again. Don't make me do the minigame again. To be honest, I was holding out for a bit of hope for you, young man. Especially after you identified the few hours that followed the accused leaving the victim's room. Yes, the 3 missing hours, as you put it. But in the end, what difference do they make? None as far as I can see. And since that's now apparent, there's no reason to delay our decision any longer. Like I was saying before, if I don't take 5 bob home with me tonight, the missus will beat me with a fucking spoon. What? Ah, fuck. I'm sorry. Why am I here again? Very well, let the court be appraised of your decisions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings to the defendant's culpability. Yuzai! Yuzai.
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 Yuzai!
Yuzai.
Yuzai!
Yuzai. 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 Ah, God damn it. Well, it would appear that the jury is indeed unanimous. Wine? Oh yeah, here we go, baby. So this time, at least, the seems justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. All's for a toast, I feel. To the guilty big buttish haw! Get up, Mr. Naruhodo, please! The trial isn't over yet. What do you mean, Mr. Sato? Part of the information I found in this encyclopedia of British law I have. An obscure right that belongs to defense in these situations. You know the tutorial, remember? Summation examination. Yes, that's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course. Here in a British court of law, we can reverse the decisions of the majority of the jurors. We can force the trial to continue. The defense! Ding! Ding! Do the thing! Why am I not surprised at my learned Liberty's friend's inability to admit defeat? Choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth. Certainly no other defense counsel in recent times has exercised the right to summation examination. As they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be altered. Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld. Defense counsel's request is granted. Do the thing! Thank you. My lord! Are you and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman? Believe me, my lord, we all know about this young lad's tenacity. And we're ready for it! Yeah. Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you state your grounds upon which the defendant is guilty of the crime for which he stands accused. Bing bong. Bull. The victim may not be well off, but he's a nobleman and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man. Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid. Just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache very fishy. Meanwhile, racism. There's no evidence to suggest the gangling actor is a fraudster, for now at least. I really don't care, I just want this trial to be over with. 3 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age, you know. Nothing at all. Here goes. Wah. I know how to do this. Thank you for the kind offer, Mrs. Sato, but no! No. Still doing that in the background? The victim may not be well off, but he's a nobleman, and straight up, there's no reason to doubt the man. Well, there's plenty of people in London who seem noble, but poor. Could some of them be liars? I've no doubt about it. Like that shaky client of yours, for example. Absolutely not. Mr. Natsume is no liar. Look, the point is, the only thing that I passed the victim's lips that night was the Japanese man's tea. Take the gasman's testimony into account as well, the truth couldn't be any clearer. Oh, well, that's alarmingly logical. Let me be frank here. Hello, I'm Frank. I'm a gentleman, with gentleman's values. If it turns out that the old Shakespearean chum is a rotten liar after all, I'd gladly change my decision about the defendant. And I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury would do the same, isn't that right? Well, yes, perhaps. I don't see it happening. What's that? Elderly gent on the end here, you know. You'll have to speak up.
I don't care. I want to leave.
How many gentlemen do we actually have on the jury, then? Alright, sir, may I hold you to that? Don't forget what you said. Always the same fucking people on the jury. Saying you believe the man to be trustworthy because he's rather splendid? No, that's not what I said. The point is, the man is the victim here. What reason would he have to lie? And yes, he is rather splendid. What do you mean I sound like I'm in a bottle? This is how the, microphone sounds. I'm having trouble with the Hold on. I don't know. I don't know where it is. Like, I don't know what's happening. No, God damn it, my audio mixer doesn't have my audio. It's like missing. I don't know how to make it appear. God damn it, does that mean the entire recording? Oh my god. Fuck! 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 I give up. Fuck it, I don't care. I'm done. No, I'm done. God, why is there so many conflicts of interest in these fucking juries? Jesus Christ! There was a fucking surgeon in the... There was a fucking surgeon and like a ballistics expert in the last fucking jury. God! Absolutely, Lady Quimby, you gotta be used properly. Altamont gas is the best in the world, of course. I think we may have solved the mystery of the bow from earlier, Mr. Naruhodo. Or the bow. He doubted defers to his employer's wife, did he? So, would I be right in assuming the reason Mr. Meterman was watching that Mr. Shakespeare was up to in his room? I'm afraid there's no end to the links to the population of the East End will go in order to steal our gas. I really have no choice when the company identifies somebody as a possible fraudsman. But to dispatch a watcher to watch the suspect day and night. We're very thorough in our investigations. So you mean Mr. Shakespeare is... I wouldn't come out and say it in public. Can I finish that sentence with a grubby little gas thief? Notified the public gallery in here, have you? The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. Faith, wouldst thou wound me with my words, were I to let them penetrate the skin? But seraphs hear not insults, only choirs of angels in song. We may not have evidence yet, but my workers won't stop buzzing around until they find it. When they do, they'll fuck you. You'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in Altamont gas explosion. So Mr. Shamspear has been stealing gas. I wonder, juror number 4, if you wouldn't have mind adding that information to your statement. My pleasure. Was it the bit about ripping that thief apart you enjoyed? A little before the part about the abject violence, if it's not too much trouble. Yes, of course. This could be it. This could thing. Ding! Ding! Oh, good gracious. What thing? What thing do you mean, boy? Juror number 1. Yeah, what are you yelling about, lad? I presume you've heard juror number 4's statement made by the wife of the owner of Altamont Gas? Well, yes. The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, isn't straight at all. It turns out to be a common thief. Oh, so the good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? But I both heard them say as such. True, we don't have evidence as such. Just yet. But the claims aren't baseless, you know. What? You heard me, seeing as its operation has already been compromised. I would suggest the court hears testimony from our East End branch office employee over there. I'll do whatever you say, my lady. Gasman's honor. I love gas! Methane, methane, ah! Propane. Ethane, I don't know. I can show that Mr. Shamspear was a liar, you'd assured me. Reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt. Yes, I did say that. And as a man of honor, I'll... yeah, whatever, fuck it. Me? Oh, well, yes. Now that we've found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further. Well, if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't heard of half of what you've all been saying. So, fuck it, I don't care. It would suit me down to the ground. Oh no, I'm not having any part of this. I want this trial over and done with. In that case, I shall change my leaning. Oh, Mr. William Shamspear, if that is your real name. We and the jury demand know exactly what kind of man you really are. Pop, 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 pop. That's 4 jurors. 4 for not guilty. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo Victory. Order, order. Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. As a result of this defense's thing, the jury's leaning has changed. This has never happened before. Only 2 jurors say guilty, whilst 4 say not guilty. I, therefore, hereby hitherly declare this court to be in state of discord. The client. In order the trial to continue. Wow, oh my god, oh wow. I hate wine. Spoiled the bouquet, Mr. Shamspear. Ladies and gentlemen, the jury now find if they are unable to trust you, the victim. but you gods will give us. Some faults will make us men. God mend me, I do swear. This gas man speaketh which concerns him most, not but gas, not but thin air. Hey, it burneth bright a while, while it hath no substance, and doth it reek foul, 'cause it's methane. Oi, what'd you say? Why take Mr. Shamspeare that you deny the allegations of gas thievery? Most heartily, my lord, hast thou forgot I am a seraph, an angel, of noble mind, sweet of nature, and verily, honest of heart. Ah, you flowery mouth fuck. Pompous beanpole. It's 'cause I haven't got the evidence yet. Mr. Shamspeare. If in fact you're not of noble mind, sweet of nature, and honest of heart, and if you're a liar, your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom. My considered opinion, that at the present day, no other possible culprit of this crime had been identified. All testimony heard by this court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case. Oh no. However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness... Oh, he's in 240p. Oh God. Oh God. I believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further. I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. Gas and this case are unrelated. Juror number 4. Yes. Did you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove that this man had been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him? That's right, we do. Don't we, worker? I am B. Absolutely, Lady Quimby. Gas man's honor. I'm the gas man. Very well, then. We shall hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare, has been stealing gas. Yes, my lord, it'll be my pleasure. On the Altamont gas co... If I may, my lord. Go ahead, lady. Woman. This worker's testimony may have a significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I would like to take the stand alongside him in a supervisory role, if you don't mind. Wahoo! Yeah, sweet as honey. Yeah. Very well. As an exception, I shall honor your request. Thank you, my lord. Wait till the boss gives you an earful. Oh, it's gonna sting. You mark my words. So, you will both testify before the court on the subject of the illegal consumption of the Altamont Gas Company's fuel. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that, what you trying to do. Ooh, yeah. It's Altamont gas, right, lady? Which is clear. I hate it here. I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruhodo. Yay, and verily, and bullshit. I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meet a money collection agent. Altamont gas meters accept the through penny bits, each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. And yet the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room didn't have a single coin in it. It doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key. Somehow he's using the flame gas without he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, what is? Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn my hallowed chalice. Mean by that remark, Lord Van Zeeks? Mustachioed Nipponese poisoned the gangling excuse for an actor, or didn't he? That is all that should concern this court. And yet now we must listen to this. Abhorrence. Bam! What separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nation is more than geographical distance. But this could turn out to be a crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. Stop throwing shit! Fuck! Do what you will. Van Zeeks appears to be in a violent mood. Yes, he does. An attempted poisoning and an incidence of gas theft with no supporting evidence. It's true that they would appear completely unrelated at first glance. But I wonder if the truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places. And the first step in covering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. A fop. Ding. That mean you enter people's houses in order to empty their gas meters? That I do. I have to try and catch people when they're in. Then I ask permission to come inside and do my business. I take a shit in their toilet. Does that mean you've been into Mr. Natsume's room before as well as that of Mr. Shamspear? Well, now I interested you should bring that up. I couldn't believe how little money was in his meter. I mean, how the pair of them would survive the winter is beyond me. It really is. Like Mr. Natsume, he probably spends all his gas money on books. When he's finished reading them, he probably burns them for warmth. Kindly reiterate your statement of the gas meters themselves, Mr. Biederman. Much to say, really, but as you wish. All London houses have a gas supplier fitted with these gas meters, are they? They're the latest model, the height of technology, developed by our company, Altamont Gas. And anyone who uses our gas will have one of these meters in their property, yes. The 3-pence coin should give 2 hours of gas. Most people would use about 3 coins in a night. A bit more than that, usually. If they have both gas lights and a gas stove, that is. Think about it, Saseki-san doesn't have a fireplace in his room of his, does he? Some people still choose to use candles, of course, and only have gas for heating. Ah, yes, I do remember seeing candles in Mr. Natsume's room, actually. And now does the money in the meter get back to you at the gas company? Every 3 days, gasmen like me visit properties on the gas supply and empty the meters of coins. I must say, the design and manufacture of these new meters cost the company an awful lot of money. But happily, I did put a stop to people not paying their dues for the most part. Because they have to pay in advance, you mean? Yes, exactly right. Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks. He's been pinching gas off of us for ages. You've examined the meter in Mr. Shamspear's room, I believe. Naturally, we took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-tooth comb. Found nothing suspicious at all, I presume. No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock. The Shamspear Special. It sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces. And after that, the rascal's meter was still empty. I'll never forget the humiliation. When When I opened up the money box and found it bare, you what? I said, you what? And the look on his face, that smarmy smile of his. Pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. You know what? Nothing. Not a trace of it being jimmied open anywhere, not a single sign. And what's happened to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day, that's what. A life-threatening situation in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of the meter? Nothing became of it. I still got it. Oh? Right here. What do they call you, meter man? It would appear prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial's ongoing. Gas meter. Bup. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. I would say it has much value to the contents of that meter. Oof. He's got a jiggly chin, DJ. I want to look at it. Meow, 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 meow. Scanning. Hey! Oh, what's... Spotted something, Mr. Harunoda? Here, there's a hole! Don't you see the hole? Goodness, you're right, hole! It's not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say. Well, I found a hole. Shit. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say this meter's clearly shows signs of having been tampered with. What? Get away! I've been over and over that thing. I'm telling yous, there's nothing wrong with it. In that case, what do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box? Hole? What? Hole? What? You're right! You're quite right, there is a little hole there. That's enough to fit my husband's penis. The meters aren't supposed to have that, none of the others do. In other words, I assume that Mr. Shamspear secretly opened up this hole himself. Yes, I wouldn't be all that surprised, but why? Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You could get a farthing through that. Lady Altamont. wonder if you could get the court to some more details about your meter design. What sort of details? Well, what I'd specifically like to know is... which one should I pick? How does the meter tell the difference between different coins? What do you mean? Well, for example, if someone were to put a 1 penny coin, that wouldn't work presumably, would it? No, of course not. So, well, how does the meter know what the coin's been fed is a through penny bit? A thrupenny bit? I see what you're getting at now. Meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which determines their thickness. A thrupenny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see. Other coins just won't fit. See, it's clearly been well thought out. It shall amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent. As you wish, my lord. This? Let me just confirm something here. The diameter and thickness were to be correct. Meter would accept any object as if it were a thrupenny bit. Is that correct? A thrupenny, yeah. Yes, that is correct. Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating Mr. Shamspeare's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Something the size of a thrupenny bit? What was it? Item in question is this! What? Have you been inhaling gas that's a bar soap? Certainly looks nothing like a thrupenny bit, I must say. So you're gonna have to point out exactly what I mean here. Bam. You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean, you stupid dummy. Yeah. Ah! Am I referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap there? A round depression is something that I have a lot. That's right, a depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, almost exactly that same size of a thrupenny bit. Get away! Give it away now. Does anyone here present have a possession of a thrupenny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen. This is a robbery! Oh my god, he's got a gun! Oh. Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, we have here a thrupenny bit. Now to see if it fits or if it needs a condom. Oh shit! It couldn't be more snug. Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Altamont Gas Company is being defrauded. Oh, I don't believe it. That is wine glass number 3. So your assertion amounts to what? Some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas? Yes. The depression in the soap is clearly made by a threepenny bit. I must concur at least that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin's shape. You can use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into the mold. You can make fake coins in no time. This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. I've solved the fraud case. This is all nonsense. If the man had been making fake coins, my worker here would have found them when he emptied the meter. Quite true, Lady Altamont. In the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear. I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There's one form of black magic that could cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air, yes. Exactly, and the meter here gives it away. What on earth? Are remnants of the magical method used visible on the gas meter taken from the victim's room. If that is your assertion, Counsel, the defense will identify these remnants for the court at once. Yes? Answer is right here. Clearly, this is highly suspicious. I thought it was the wax. Do they want me to point at the hole again? Alright, let's point at the hole. Found the bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window. Outside? Yes, outside. Where is the opposite of inside, Mr. Biederman, where you were outside. You were outside. That's where we found this soap. Ah, I get it. That's right. The answer, of course, is ice. Did you say ice? Mr. Shakespeare had been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening, filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning. Takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them to the gas meter, giving them light, warmth, and spades. Ice? His room becomes very comfortably warm. The ice now inside the meter's coin box melts. I thought he was making them out of wax. Turning back into water and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. How, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing gas. It's like that. So simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? Not idiots every week on Wednesday. He's been fooling us with some bars of soap and some water. That's right, madam. I don't believe it. It can't be true. You have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? Now they have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless? Sorry? I want evidence! You're gonna stand here and tell me our readers are rubbish. I want to see proof, goddammit. Very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she? Why are you about to cry? Very well, Lady Altamont. If you'd like evidence, I'll provide it. What? Mr. Naruhodo, are you saying you actually do have evidence to support this theory? I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with could explain it. Oh, hey! Yeah, there is a little thing of water down here. Okay, awesome. Look at this photograph! It's from the scene at the point when the victim was discovered by Mr. Gregson. Clearly shows remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamspear. What remnants? Louder. Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shamspear's room. Now look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. Can't you see this puddle of pee on the floor? What is that, some kind of grubby stain? Almost certainly, it's pee. Resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole made in the meter. One coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, and the occupant was heating his room in all the waking hours. You can imagine he would have used around 10 of these fake coins each day. Melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain of pee on the floor. This is awful. Pee! Now there's further evidence, too. Shamspear slumped over his table, apparently, having consumed strychnine. And right there next to him is a bar of soap, broken in half. You're right. It would appear to me then, Counsel, that the man was eating the soap. What was he? Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but certainly not. Didn't beat around the bush there, did he? Truth. Mr. Shamspear was found with a fork in his hand. I walk into the club with my dick in my hand, and then I walk to the bathroom with my dick in my hand. Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap. Ah! Bar broke in half. Perhaps it didn't go very well. Good gracious, holy shit! That is wine bottle number 2. Okay. Lord Van Zeeks. I was throwing my hand up in despair. Happened to catch my hallowed bottle on the way. Pray, forgive my maladroit mistake. What is the meaning of this, Counsel? Allow me to oppose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination? Well, that Mr. William Shamspear's a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable. Yep, that's what I did, yep. Very well, let us assume this man's a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make? Well, you know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. And on the night in question, there was no visitors in that room except for the accused. Young's gas man's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body via the tea. What are no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Even if William Shakespeare is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Ah! Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for an immediate adjudication. You what? Order! Order! Well, counsel, how does the defense respond? Mr. Naruhodo, what's the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Did it make no difference at all, like Lord Van Seeks is saying? Object forever! The defense will not rest. I am not sleepy. You can't make me. But counsel, you've successfully explained everything. Identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shakespeare to consume gas. More is there to discuss. Lord Van Seeks just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. Contrary to what he would have in the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all. What are you trying to say, my nippo friend? My nippo friend? At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption, made due to lack of evidence. Ah, JoJo's. But the situation has changed now, following the cross-examination of the latest witness to take the stand. Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense? So, was someone else responsible for another visitor? Was there poison in the tea? My voice cracked when I said that. Was there poison in the tea? We've all been led to believe that the strychnine poison that afflicted Mr. Shakespeare was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume. That's conjecture at best. Victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There was no other possibility. And since there's no trace of the tea left at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of the poison. As I said, the situation has changed. Because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene. And a particular piece of evidence proves it. Ludicrous came. Luda! Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting they missed? The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea? Is it this? What the fuck am I looking at? Well, I suspect it may possibly be related to the tea in some way if we dig deep enough. Taking for a very long time indeed, my learned friend. Oh. Okay, that wasn't it. What could have been in the tea? I mean, he was eating soap. Is it the soap? is soap poisonous? Who put strychnine in soap? What is this world? Oh shit! Soap? Soap? Something about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday. Is it really the fucking soap? It's more bars of soap. Soap. Soap, 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 soap. Quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon this bar of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar. Discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating. In a way, yes, but there's more. But wait, there's more. Coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice. There was something strange about them, you mean? Exactly, something very obviously strange. They were red. The ice was red. Red ice? That's right, it's obvious to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea! Tea isn't red! Tea! Have you seen tea? Tea! Tea's not fucking red! It's brown! Or green. When is tea red? Are you fucking kidding me? What are you talking about? When is tea red? I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspear's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bottled water especially to make it. Why is it... When has tea been red, ever? On the night in question, Mr. Shamspear had no running water to use. He was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Nutsmay in order to make his fake coins. My word! It's not red! When has it ever been red? There were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene. That's right, and we only borrowed one of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the crime scene. Frozen solid in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shamspear's window. Extraordinary! Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that if one drop of the tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove that what has until now been mere conjecture. Finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea contains strychnine at all. When is it red? When is tea red? Tea has never been red! My lord, we can do the defendant the injustice of... Hold on, hold the fuck on. We are going to look at pictures of tea, goddammit. This is important. Fucking pieces of shit. Lying fucks. Inform me! Not red! It's not red! That is fucking brown! Or like orange, maybe. Look at it! Look at it! Kids. Fucking pieces of shit! Yeah. Okay. We should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap at the scene of the crime. Defense requests for thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in and within. Determine whether or not it contains any poison. Ooh. What the fuck? It would seem we have no choice but to suspend the proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Zeeks. None, my lord. Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite tests immediately. The tuna... my brain was like, the tuna will resume at the same hour tomorrow. The prosecution and the defense may conduct further investigations appropriate in the interim. It's my lord. This tuna will continue. Well, managed to scrape through there somehow. Thank you, counsel. The court's adjourned until tomorrow. When? I do not comprehend. When has tea been read? When is tea read? Tell me. I am not a fucking liar. Oh, Jesus. Oh, lordy, lordy. Okay. Phew, we made it back in one piece. Just perfectly honest, I thought we were finished here once there for a while. Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. So many carriages on the streets of London, you were very nearly flattened several times. Oh no, I didn't mean that. Yes, I know. I'm gonna run you over. It was a marvelous defense, Naruhodo-san. It really was. I was in awe of you. Oh! Thank you. Now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time, let's see if we can't find some new clues for the court tomorrow, bleh. Is everything all right? I suppose I still can't quite believe it. That's all. But I'm here in England working as a lawyer, I mean, in the Old Bailey, no less. Truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? It should be him standing in my shoes. It should be Kazuma, Kiryu. Oh man. It was Kazuma-sama's wish that you follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him. Yes, I mean, I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. You're doing wonderfully, Naruhodo-san. I've no doubt that Kazuma-sama would exactly say... Thank you, Susato-san. Thank you. will he be returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment? Which one is that? You see. Yes, he's at St. Bartholomew's, or Bart's, as Londoners call it. We know that place, don't we? Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital that she was taken to. Yes, after Soseki-san stabbed her in the back. Be careful of your phrasing, Naruhodo-san. He didn't stab anyone. As we both owe Soseki-san an apology. St. Bartholomew's. Yes, we should probably visit the hospital later. Now that Soseki-san took tea to the victim and on the night in question. But as he isn't the culprit, then obviously... Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea. But if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shamsier's body?
He injected it.
I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene. See something in Mr. Shamsier's room that help us solve this mystery. Well, naturally, Scotland Yard detectives have been over the place already. Couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think. Definitively! And I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left in the bar of soap. I wonder when Inspector Gregg sent me to ask him about that. Kazuma Asogi, the best friend I've ever had. Lawyer with such promise. I wish I had your audio thing right now. He really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. I can still picture him now, pointing his finger and looking all determined and stuff. And then after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with. Abba hubba ba? Yes, hubba bubba ba. Inside my trunk, if you curl up small enough. I'm sure no one will know. Kazuma, will you tell me why? Ain't nothing but a heartbreak? Tell me why? Ain't nothing but a mistake? Tell me why? I'll never want to hear you say I want it that way. To go to Great Britain? Well, been on my mind ever since we got through that trial. Really ought to go into law and be a defense lawyer. Got a natural talent for it, believe me, I guarantee it. And I never even thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You'll have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London's the cultural capital of the world. A city at the forefront of everything. Can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. I suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what? Oh no. Never mind. Funny. Naruhodo-san? Sorry, I was thinking about Kazuma. Yes, he's forever in my thoughts too. Changed the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his Dorimo. I so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course. Yes, that's right, but... Nani? Yes? I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know, the thought just takes a hold of me every now and then. That's all. Naruhodo-san, what do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions? I mean, why did he bring a fucking sword? Is katana? That means Japanese sword, if you didn't know that. I expected him to inherit the sword after Kazuma passed away, of course. No, I know, but it was because I asked you to take it. I have it at my side in court. I feel as though it gives me courage. Yes. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. Karuma? That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. Name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need such compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in this Great Britain. Something you have to do? Yes. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. What did he mean by something very important that I have to do? I'd hope the answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet I've found not a single clue. I see. Naruhodo, haha. Let's go downstairs. You know, you don't need the two S's if you have an apostrophe on the end of the S. Oh, you and you! Hooray, you're back! Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. Ha! I am. And today you look as immaculately as presented as ever, Seuss. Oh, you flatter me. Oh, you couldn't have come at a better time. I've just made a pot of tea. I'll get some cups. Really? Thanks, Iris. Actually, what is that foul smell? That's me! Ha ha! That's me. The Wanderers have returned at last. Where on earth have you been? We've been in court? Oh! For Mr. Mustache's case. That was today, was it? I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. Sure you think you did? Well, we can laugh about it now. But tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really? I would like to see it. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. Lord Van Zeek's an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes? Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite what I asked, but still. Mr. Sholmes, whatever is that odor? That's me! What is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed. That's the scent of victory, my dear fellows. I've soiled myself. Yes. Victory in science. Oh, dear. Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? Did he shit himself? That is the question. Ah, well, most probably this, I would say. What is that? My dear fellow, it is of course my latest invention. Poo smell. In a tube. Chemical tests can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea. Oh my. There are some unscrupulous sorts of manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but is merely dyed leaves of drab flavor. Certainly unsavory behavior. So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful, Iris. Science! At the ready, Hurley. That is not the color of tea. I swear to God, I am not. Let's add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? Turn completely black, just like my heart. What a foul, stinky, ew, stinky. Indeed, stinky. The blacker the tea becomes, and the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. It would appear that this cup has a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious, but what do you do with that black liquid now? Why, dispose of it naturally. Surely wouldn't like to drink it, would you? There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Holmes. Hence why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. Right. The point is, we are entering a new era of science. In the world of criminal investigation, also. Yes! Forensic science! Oh, these are such exciting times. I regularly engage in the scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Sherlock Holmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative techniques is based. This little tea incident in Kent was my happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that. Beric Van Zeeks. Yes, it's an interesting sobriquet as the Reaper of the Bailey. As the legendary prosecutors fought for somebody's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts. Sooner or later, that hapless soul will vanish from the capital. Vanish how exactly? Oh, they'll die. By falling under a passing carriage or drowning in the Thames. Or succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue being set upon by highwaymen. There are numerous faster ones, final terminus, dear fellow. Seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Moustache is fighting fit, for the time being at least. It's not overly reassuring. If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zeek's own hand. As it happens, Mrs. Sato, that is quite impossible. Oh, why? Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurs, the Reaper has always had a cast-iron alibi. Really? And so his reign continued. But 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, so I've heard. It was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into that trial at the Old Bailey. That bitter fight to the death concluded with the Reaper's resurrection. And really did end bitterly indeed. And here you are, facing Mr. Reaper once again. Poor Bruno, I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky, or incredibly unlikable. I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people. Racism. Yeah. Japan. Japanese people. With Sister Natsume, who I'm currently defending, being Japanese as well as Mr. Sato and myself, I felt it even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van seeks to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. Indeed, it is an interesting observation. Know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes? Ah, no! It was about 10 years ago that Beric Van Zieks chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan. No! What the fuck? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened, did? I believe I made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair. Oh, but... Veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is the most deserving of your attention, I believe. So your T-test is an example of forensic science? Indeed it is! An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases, then. Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints? Not yet accepted in our court as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels there. I never heard of them until recently. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course. But does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes? There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. No, what I am researching is skin prints. Skin prints? A nomenclature of my own design, as is this chemical, that agent that was made possible. And it reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation. Brilliant, Mr. Haw! Does it turn everything completely odorous and black? I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. That is the spirit, Bruno. There! There! We were thinking you'd come with us. Come. You were? Yes, of course. You said so just a minute ago. You said we'd witness your forensic talents in action. Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. You go on ahead. I shall sure to be follow you later in all likelihood. Probably, maybe, well, I might. It astounds me. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye. What do you suppose is happening? Sounds like some sort of disturbance. Yes, I hear angry voices. Be not angry, O ample lady. Verily, thou art mistaken. Mistaken, my foot. You were looking. You were looking at my painting. The eye of man hath not heard. Ear of man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed, the poison that moustache villain gave of me. Forgive me, lady. I wish that you died from that poison. God have mercy, ample lady. But thou seest I have vigor still. Behold, my Shakespeare dance. Ooh, get it. Ooh, get it. Ooh, look at me get it. This looks rather ominous, doesn't it? Ah, lo, 'tis the lawyer from the land which riseth for the sun. How now? What are you doing here, Mr. Shakespeare? Anyway, I do believe I have returned unto another ward. He was looking, that's what he was doing. Looking at my terrible work. Eastern fellow, so darky clad. Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Oh, well, thank you. What? That doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Anon, exunt. Mr. Shakespeare might technically be the victim in this case. It's definitely a lot more than that. Very hard to pin the man down. I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person. Miss Green, is everything all right? Oh, yes. I mean, don't worry about me. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now. Oh, I see. We're delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green. Oh dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it. I am, thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me. Yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it? As far as I'm concerned, I'm just walking along in the snow one evening, minding my own business. Then completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already. What a terrible week it's been for you. Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I'll look back on this fondly. Really? Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged. Oh yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously busy. Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson. What are you doing here? Well, we're hoping to have another look around, actually. Lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, I'm sure as you're aware. Yeah, I know their score. Yes, another thing. One other thing. It's up on the ledge outside the window. Did you find it? Was the tea with it? Yeah, we found it all right. There's a small amount of tea in it, as you said. It's with the identification section at the yard now. They're looking into it. Results should be available later today. That's wonderful news. Thank you. Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing, forget it. Make sure you don't disturb anything in here. You. Are you looking for new clues, Inspector? On Lord Van Zeek's orders, yeah. Don't come back till you've got something for me, he says. Oh dear, poor you. Yeah, poor me. I've already searched every bleeding nook and cranny in this place. I don't know what he expects, to be honest. Thanks goodness for warm chips is all I have to say. He's honest. He only eats the fish part. Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? What a question indeed. Was it not your good self asked me to attend the scene? Oi! Don't. What are you up to over here? What are you doing over there? Dear me, once a great detective is always under scrutiny, it seems. It's now the time, Mr. Sholmes. Are you about to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised? With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. What's all this, then? Sam Fisher, infiltrating. All this is precisely what you respected, Mr. Naruhodo. Or request. Yeah, fuck. Sherlock Holmes Essentials. Skin print seeker gun! Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. Sample from Mr. Shamspeare's cup? Each individual leaves microscopic secretions, everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this refined indicator solution. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on. There, now spray the chemical indicator about and all that will be revealed. Spray, how do I do that exactly? A little press of the A button on the area you're interested in is all that's required, like this. What's that stuff? It's like fog. A suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas is the most efficient way to cover a large area. That was another invention I discovered incidentally whilst discovering this idea. As you do. Go ahead. Spray. Check for any bouts of cum in the area. Cum. Look for cum. Gotta find cum. Is there any cum here? Looking for traces of cum. Cum detected. Ah, yes, interesting. A multitude of the victims' handprints. Oh, there's so many of them on the floor in this one spot. Ooh! Perhaps he had a bad fall just there. Something obvious that would have tripped over, though, is there? I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes. This is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor? Yes, there's no more obvious explanation. Handprints on the floor there. And on the wall by the picture, you mean? Yes, and I think the floor warrants closer inspection. If I won't be a moment. A seesaw homicide. What is it, Mr. Sato? Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards popped out. What of the... You mean... It's a secret hiding place? Oh, shit! What do we have in here? Oi! Oi! Inspector Gregson! No need, Inspector. Continue to dig in your portion of chips while we dig around the floor here. Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find! Not a hiding place you should make use of in Japan. I don't think I could fit a... I couldn't think I could lift a straw to Tommy Matt. No, I know, but I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move, either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there, too. Aren't you curious? Oh! I'll investigate it once! There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall. How disappointing. Then how do you explain the handprints? I really can't think why anyone have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that. Click! Whoa. There you are! A print for you! I'm desperate to know. So am I. Know if there's anything hidden underneath that floorboard there. Allow me to ask Mr. Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Inspector Gregson. Really, it's been too long. Holmes. I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing as we're such good friends. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. It killed to know what was under that floorboard. Alright, fair. What? You did well to discover the hiding place, after all. Suppose I should at least fill you in. Inspector. Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. There's one thing I know about this man, it's that he blows with the wind. As fickle as the weather. Oi! Stop making me out to be some kind of nut! There are 3 items under the floorboard here. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now, what do you want to know? Like it was cut out of the newspaper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while serving him time in Manchester. Oh, terrible. Made the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but the nature got him first. Oh my goodness, he committed a capital offense? And by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work into burglaries and murderer. They say the hoard he knocked off was worth about £1,000. Hoard? Treasure, you mean? Jewelry and the like? Put he in it somewhere. No one knows where. And now he's dead. The papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell. Some such was the headline. Did not strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor? Ensconced under the floor? I suppose now you mention it. Does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go back over the paperwork we got on Selden back at the yard. See if I can turn anything up. So, this is the photograph I found. It looks reasonably recent to me. Yes, it would appear to have been on the street in front of the house there. The gentleman on the left is Mr. Garadeb, the landlord, of course. Who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garadeb's son, perhaps? Perhaps. You take that print if you like. We can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows. The identity of the young fellow, that is. True? Well, it's too bad if we do. Unfortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. My dear Inspector, if I be so bold to point something out... Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. I fucking hate you, Sherlock. All the more reason I'm not telling you. A dismal failure. Yes, I've heard. I wonder why a photograph like this is hidden under the floor. And Mr. Shamsphere himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garadeb was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present for it. Proud present of it. This tin box looks interesting, does it? Might I suggest, Inspector, and you open it? Find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case. I wouldn't be in the least surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. It's completely empty. What? Shamsphere, give us a clue, man! Didn't even have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. And anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box. Yes, thin air. It's empty, rather like how I feel inside. Is there nothing more to this box then, I wonder? Kitty. Oh, Kitty! Kitty! Yeah! Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, oh my god, kitty, yeah. Look at that cat. Yeah. What was his name? It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. How have we got in here, clever cat? Oh, wonderful. Well then, Wagahai, there's something delicious I brought for you from the cat's meat man. Aw, kitty. Yeah, kitty. "3D kitty technology." Can be happier now. Look. Hope we can bring some happiness to his owner too. Look at that cat. Now, look at that boy. And inspect the cat. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Yay. Kitty. That was a cheeky little meow, Wagahai. Oh, he's so adorable. We can sit and watch him forever. I think he may not appreciate that after a while. Maybe we have an investigation to get back into. Oh, Nekoda. Oh, Mr. Natsume is back. There he is. Mr. Natsume, hello. I am a cat. Sorry? I don't know who Mr. Natsume is or hairlock Jones. I don't know about courts and trials or Old Baileys. I am a cat. That's what I am. I'm just a cat. And Naruhodo is trying to escape from reality. Trying to. He already has. Completely. So, what's your name then? As yet, I have no name. Mr. Naruhodo, he hasn't fully thought out his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality. Think you can open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume? Oh. I am not a cat. It worked! He's back in the real world! What's going to become of me? No! Don't answer that! It's obvious! My accursed soul is going to go escape this accursed fate! Mr. Natsume, no! This morning's proceedings in court prove that there's hope! Yes, yes, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire was brilliant, but the Reaper's omnipresent in court, in my lodgings, here, there, everywhere. What's he looking straight at me for? I think perhaps there's some things that we could discuss. Oh yes, yes, we must. In my whole life, I've ever been so moved as I was today. No! Of Of course, I cast my mind back. There were perhaps one or two other occasions that moved me before. But it was just block those out today that being in that courtroom was one of those moving experiences of my life. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Too kind. Scotland Yard found the remaining tea, just as we deduced, and are analyzing it as we speak. There's nothing wrong with that tea. They won't find a drop of poison in it. That's a solemn, sworn Soseki certainty. Tell me, why did you both drink the tea at the same time that night? You both drink the tea at the same time that night? Oh yes, most definitely. Remember, drink tea while it's hot. We both poured it down our throats like it was a hot bath for our bellies. At the time, you were both completely fine? As shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shamspear then engaged in a Romeo and Juliet match. The focus of tomorrow's proceedings will how the poison was taken by the victim then. That rotten Shamspear, what have I ever done to him? You don't recall him taking issue with you over anything you've done recently? I've been holed up in my room, immersed in books. I don't recall anything. Anything at all! Right. What I don't understand is why he didn't let me know sooner. You know what, Mr. Natsume? About the soap, of course. What else? Oh dear. Struggling with such a meager stipend? Of course I am. If I had money, I would have chosen to live such an accursed existence in such accursed lodgings. Yes, you said it was because the place is cursed that it's so cheap, didn't you? Exactly the room that I rent. Especially the room that I rent. The spirit of that capital offender who lived there still haunts the place and it's trying to kill me! Capital offender? Might I ask, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, that the next time you visit me, you bring scores of super soft soap? So does he know about the Capital Offender article? What's this? It's a newspaper cutting that we found in Mr. Shamspear's room. Ah, so he knew, did he? Sorry? But this man, Selden, convicted killer and the evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings. What? What? He's already taken a young man's life, and now he's trying to take the life of another, a miserable, mustached, much maligned Japanese man. Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you know about this evil spirit. Truth is, I didn't know the details of myself until very recently. That Selden man was arrested for about a year ago now. And at the time, he was hiding out in lodgings, Mr. Garretep's house. He lived where you do now? That's right, yes, exactly where I live now. In my very room. Oh my, your room you previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense? Before each sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. That's when it started. The curse! It really is the curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume. It's already caused one death a few months after the criminal passed away in prison. A man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. The poor lodger, he was found dead in mysterious circumstances. The room was locked from the inside. Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we're dealing with now. Ooh. That's the convict's curse, is it? Yes, well, that was the start of it. Have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume? The official cause of death was asphyxia. They discovered the body. The room was full of gas. Gas? I only found that out after I signed the lease. When Mr. Gerdev came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I probably would have been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease, luckily legal. For Mr. Gerdev, maybe. But not so lucky for poor Mr. Natsume. Now you believe the curse is affecting you? It is! At first! I felt as though I was being watched! All the time! You talked about having nightmares, didn't you? The dead are trying to take me with them! They come for me and try to suffocate me! Just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up. The room is as cold as ice! Willing to sacrifice my love! But why is the room so cold? London winters are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight. But for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into bed at night, the pilot light always goes out, and the room fills with gas. That's terrible. Like the same situation as what led to the previous occupant's death. And then there's what happened to Mr. Shamspeare last night, when he was mysteriously poisoned. Maybe more to that incident that can be explained by a curse, though. Whatever could be the curse of all these strange happenings in Mr. Gerardev's rooms. Is there a fucking gas leak? Is that what happened? They were both gone from a fucking... They're both gone from a gas leak? Mr. Natsume, it's nothing much, but... it's been too long since I've been offered a present with that delightfully humble etiquette of our homeland. What? Too kind, I accept it gladly. Sorry, but I wasn't trying to give it to you, actually. Oh, wait. Okay. You're here now, Mr. Gerardev. Right, bally business is it for me, you know? Getting out and about. Are you at the Old Bailey by any chance? Naturally, fate of my lodgings hanging in the balance and all that. Not a child to miss. It's already been dubbed your haunted lodgings, yes. Of course, the place is quite a stir around from the capital on more than one occasion already. The old haunted lodgings or some such. Well, at least he knows. Makes you wonder what the blaze is going on, don't you know? Yes, I'm sure it does. In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsume's other trial 2 days ago, you were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened? Dropped off at the prison on the way home, in fact. Beastly business. You see... So, what brings you to my haunted abode today, huh? Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? Yes, the house does seem to have become something of a magnet for rum fellows of late. Thanks to that Balik curse. Convict's curse, you mean? Heard the stories, have you? Rotten scoundrel was arrested here, and the next chap in the room goes and keels over. And there was that woman who dropped dead just outside the street, not to mention the actor yesterday. Am I next, eh? Well, can't help but get the collywobbles, can you? You say the woman who dropped dead outside on the street? Do you mean Miss Green? Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamspear was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still. Yes, well, so is that blasted convict's curse, it seems. Personally, I would be quite content with such lodgings. A bath, a toilet, a fireplace, a fascinating history. Why, it sounds like the lap of luxury. Not so sure about that. Well, there's no bath or toilet included, and no fireplace either. You do look out for your tenants, do you? Watching the rise and fall of the flames in your gas lamps up there. Yes, never hurts to keep an eye on things. In case there are any mishaps or such like. I think we've had our mishap already, sir. It's not helpful, Mr. Sholmes. Heaven forgive me. The words just came to my lips like a... I'm not going to finish that simile. Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? There's no need for that, Mr. Garadeb. That's right. Mr. Natsume is no way fishy. He's a cat. He is undeniably peculiar, however. Is it right there that when he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away? Yes, that's right. I asked the estate agent to find some, and he popped up the very same day. Never come across a chap so keen for that place, with such a background, as it were. I don't think it was the room's background he was keen on, so much as the cheap rent, actually. So, how long has Mr. Shamspear been lodging under your roof? That failed actor chap. Let me see. Oh, of course. Yes, it's been 3 months now. Quite sure of it. 3 months? He's quite new here too, then. And to what with you owe the earth's certainty in that regard, Mr. Garadeb, if I might ask. Well, it's that Selden scoundrel, it happens. Selden? The convict, you mean? Selden and Shamspear have some kind of connection, then? That convict chap, Selden, passed away in the clink 3 months ago, you see. Some malady or other. Yes, we'd seen the report from the newspaper at the time. Well, it was only 3 days later that the traditions show his face, the actor fellow. Really? Yes, I remember it quite distinctly. Is small the world we inhabit. Prithee, landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shamspear, do desire to take thy room on the middle floor, offered erewhile for rent. Terribly sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. Already have a lodger on the middle floor. Ground floor room's vacant, though. Nothing can be made out of nothing. Let me repeat mine will unto thee. This curse must be nullifying your ears. The room on the middle floor's taken. It's ground floor or nothing. Fuck. Very well. We have a Honda Accord. What I heard in court today sounds like the chap was thieving gas. And he was 3 months ago and appears to be with the rent, too. The fellow's quite a bally player tonight. All right. By way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 more words. Give me my robe. Put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me. What's happened to you? Shakespeare, my dear fellow. One of his most famous lines. I wish to divulge my own learning of the subject, for I have a turn for literature, you know. So you can turn your attention to more apt lines, then? Mr. Garrett, could I ask you to look at this photograph? Is that your son who's with you there? No, not at all. He was a lodger here once before. Duncan Ross was his name. Duncan Ross? A street photographer who happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot. Just for kicks, really. Is he by any chance the lodger before Mr. Natsume? Yes, that's right. Ah, the young gentleman who died in the room in mysterious circumstances. That's what Mr. Moustache has been waiting for, one might say. Yes, young Duncan lived in the room at the top of the first flight of the stairs before that Japanese chap. Mind telling us a little more about him? Ah, yes, Duncan Ross. That young chap was attending art school. Had to pay for it, mind. Went to the middle floor room about a year ago, after the criminal Selden was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them. History of cheap rent, maybe, yes. Yes, well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. Hadn't quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamps to see what my lodgers were up to at the time. But sadly, I was rather tardy to discover what had happened. The smell of gas that alerted me, it was. Ah, yes, synonymous with the smell of death. Called the police straight away, of course. The officer kicked the door off its hinges. Once we got inside, we all bally collapsed. Because of the gas? Yeah, room was full of it. No air at all. The stove must have gone out while the poor chap was sleeping on his bed. Mr. Ross suffocated to death. Of course, the police gave me a sound ticking off because the gas pipes were so old and all that. can't tell you how much it sent me back to have the lot replaced all over the house. Even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume says the same thing. So that the stove goes out at night whilst he's asleep in bed. Well, that's the Balik curse, the convict's curse. I've denied duty as a landlord now. So it's feeling defensive. Ah, that reminds me, actually. Yes? But that young Duncan. The night before, the poor chap perished. In writing a letter. Letter of affection to a young lady. A love letter, you mean? Yes, where did I put it now? Ah, here it is. Left it on my desk. If you'll excuse me... Let's see now. What does it say? My most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Do you know what we should be reading in such a personal piece of correspondence? My dear Susato, this is precisely why I preface my reading with, if you'll excuse me. I will not excuse Mr. Sholmes, no. Sadly, he didn't address it, though. So I've no means of delivering the thing. Rather sad, really. I see. It's gonna play on my mind. Really, the identity of Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case. I think we should leave well alone. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Indeed, the intended recipient's address is missing. However, there is a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Mr. Sholmes, please, I already had to chastise you about this once. My undying love for you, my colorful darling, Olive Green. Ah! Olive Green! The woman who's plunged into the coma after a knife plunged into her back outside this house 5 days ago. The victim of the last case Saseki-san was in court for. Regained consciousness only yesterday. Is it just chance that her name has come up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence? Mr. Naruhodo, whatever can this mean? Reading personal correspondences can have its merits, you see, Mr. Sato. Hospital. Mr. Naruhodo, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. Sees Miss Green's well enough to be discharged at last. This is good news, but hopefully just before she leaves. Ah! What is it? Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back. One moment, I'll be with you in a jiffy. Hello, everyone. What are you all doing here? The doctor said I could be discharged, so I'm just getting my things together. It's Green. What were you just doing? Oh, nothing, really. I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me, that's all. Well, hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's all right. I don't really have anything else to tell you. All right, and she's definitely behaving strangely. Can't coax something out of her. bottle that Miss Green was just about to drink from when we arrived. Yes, she looked rather preoccupied, didn't she? It's very bitter. I can't stand bitter medicine. I suppose that could be it. In fact, whenever a doctor prescribes me medicine for a number of days, I always take it all at once. Oh no! If you have to take something you don't like, it's best to get it all out of the way in one go, isn't it? Oh dear, and I thought it was Miss Green I should be worrying about it at the moment. Wonderful that news you've been going to be discharged, Miss Green. Oh yes, I mean, thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway. So if I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around here and chat. Doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk, that's for sure. I'm gonna hit you with the memories. Here you go. Screen, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Sir Duncan Ross? You knew him, didn't you? Ah, bruh! Oh no, I'm so sorry. The bottle of medicine fell down when she did. Screen, are you alright? And so Miss Green died. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to startle you like that. No, it's alright, wasn't expecting it. But how do you know about Duncan? Well, Mr. Ross had been writing a letter when he passed away. The landlord found it in his room. It's a very personal letter to you. At the art school. That's where I met Duncan. A year ago now. He's working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day. The two of you became romantically involved? Yes, that's right. We were very much in love. We were engaged to be married, actually. That's why I decided to move into a cheaper room to save money for the wedding. Led him to Mr. Garrideb's. Yes, he told me he found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End. Then 1 month ago, that's when it happened. I'm so terribly sorry, Miss Green. Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose. Poor Miss Green. She looks desperately sad. I'm starting to think that that's just her look. I see that she has every reason to feel the universe is against her. I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but... would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, we'll be on our way. Mr. Naruhodo! Surely we're not about to leave. That's quite out of the question. But, Mr. Holmes! I didn't realize you were here! But of course I was, my dear fellow! Watching intently from the shadows, as always. I'll make your presence known next time. Mr. Holmes, what's this about? Something which occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Sato, is this. Why do detectives insist on such an ex post facto modus operandi? Why solve a case after it's happened? instead of preventing a case before it happens. That is what sets a great detective apart. What do you mean? There's a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Mr. Naruto. So let us avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening. With nothing but careful observation. Alright. The clues you need are set before you. You only need to look and cannot fail to see. You can do it, Mr. Naruto. I know you can. Wait, is that mouse dead? That mouse is fucking dead. Okay. Mouse seems to be dead. Look. I didn't notice it there before, did you? I think perhaps it drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle. The bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived. Don't think. Ah, I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yes, I think it's falling into place. Screen, the contents of the bottle you had before was spilt out onto the floor. The poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. Ah! Screen, the bottle must have contained powerful poison. Don't worry, I will attend to the mouse presently. Is she drinking poison? Miss Green, were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? Take your own life? Ah! Once we'd left, you would have put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? Taken the poison. No! Miss Green, please talk to us. Wait, she was actually gonna commit suicide? What the fuck? 10 seconds later, and we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we have not enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hadn't been so quite delightful from your perspective, Miss Green. Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted. Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine? Well, with this being a hospital and all, the doctor comes to examine me in the mornings. He always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out when he wasn't looking. It conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains. I'm afraid I don't really know. But I thought if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow. Oh, please, Miss Green. Don't talk of such things. It seems clear now that it contains poison. Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that. Oh no, oh, it's all my fault. What have I done? I shall remove this from to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection. No, none. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it. Okay, so a card. Either the sender's name or address appears to be written on the envelope of this card. It arrived by the post to my home the day before the incident that put me in the hospital here. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad Bar on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anyone else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Wait a minute. The 17th of this month? That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road. And 5 p.m. is precisely the time when you got stabbed on Briar Road. Haha. Slug and Salad, yes. A pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road being the street that Mr. Garrett's house is on. Does this mean that... Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. The day when I was struck in the back by the knife. I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad. Goodness. So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day. Sorry I didn't say anything before. I think I really will be asking you to excuse me now. I've told you everything. Yes, I'm very sorry to have dragged up such a painful memory for you. No, it's fine. It's green. Please promise us you won't try to kill... Please don't fucking kill yourself. What are you, the guy from Case 5? Yes, don't worry. Your detective friend has the bottle now anyway. Besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison, and I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. It might sound a little conceited, but, well, that's how this has made me feel. Leaving Miss Green and St. Bartholomew's behind, made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Holmes. Well, it would appear we've reached the end of the investigative trail for today. Yes, it's late. And, Mr. Naruhodo, did you discover anything that may be used to you in court of tomorrow, do you think? Details about Mr. Shamspeare, or Mr. Garrett's lodgings, or the convict, Selden? Many facets of this case, and we've yet to see the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling, anyway. I can't help but wonder about the results of the analysis. Mr. Natsume's tea, you mean? Yes, will they have found strychnine in it or not? Well, I fear that either way, it will be hard to escape the grip of our friend, Mr. Reaper. Oh dear. Yes, Eric Van Zeeks. But I wish you success, of course, and though I was late to rise this morning, tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at a crisp hour and attend the trial. Mr. Holmes, you're going to come? Indeed, I will come to the trial. My eyelids cooperate in the morning. Well, I think we've done all we can. What's left is raid focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsume's cause until the very end. London, the world's most prosperous city, home to some 6 bajillion people. But away from the razzle-dazzle, down back alleys and behind bricked-up windows, the lonely lurk. Saseki-san had battled long and hard, with loneliness his many months here. And so I felt honor-bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, lift the curse that has gripped him. As Mr. Holmes said, tomorrow should be a new dawn for all of us. Okay, so I think I'm done for tonight. I think the last part of this trial is probably going to need another 3 or 4 hours, so I might as well just, like, prepare for that, and I'll probably start tomorrow morning. Thank you for coming if you're here, and if I'm alone, well, fuck. So, have a good night.